Guys, Jay Hoyt here. We've been telling you guys at every single video recently, we finally hit our one goal of 250 subscribers, but we are wanting to grow, right? Their next kind of big goal is 300, I guess, 400, 500, 1,000. I'm not sure what the next one will be, but let's make it 300. We are, I think it's like 48 or something away from 300. So if you haven't yet, or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and enjoy the video. What's on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yes, I'm in the same shirt as the last video for Call of Duty because we were recording about 3 minutes after we ended the last one. So yes, same thing as before. Got a good couple of gameplays early on here. Things kind of went backwards, so we're taking a break, getting some videos done. But this one, we are on Scrap Yard. I know, legendary map. I actually do really well in this one. We're playing some control. We end up going 21-7, 3 overall KD. And I wanted to talk about something because I kind of had this thought, was it last week, I think? But if you guys don't know, right, Fortnite Battle Royale, the ultimate Battle Royale experience, is one of the biggest games, right? The most kind of played game, you know, for a while. And obviously lots of players are on that game. And more recently, they have released the Season 5, I think it is, map. So OG Fortnite, like, it's like Season 1, Chapter 1, you know, back in the day map where everything is so simple, right? And everyone is absolutely loving it. You know, I think they had the most players they've had, was it ever or since then or something, but they brought back the old map, the old gun pool, the old the whole pool of all the weapons, the utility, the shields, the healing, the everything, right? They brought that back, and it got me thinking. Now, Josh, why are you mentioning Fortnite, right? This is a Call of Duty video. We're playing Call of Duty now. Why are you mentioning that? Well, this kind of brings it to the foresight of Call of Duty, right? We see what all these other games are doing. We see what happens when you give fans and your consumers and your gamers and everything else what they want. And you see what happened, right? It absolutely blew up again, right? You have a ton of big streamers, a ton of big YouTubers that stream or make videos on whatever platform, or even on multiple platforms now, that are making content on Fortnite again when it may not have been their main game anymore, right? They've been playing different stuff and kind of branching out to other games. And now you're seeing a lot of people come back to Fortnite. And this kind of is a message, I guess, to Call of Duty from Fortnite, right? Almost, well, from me, to kind of CC'd in there. I don't even know how that works, but somehow, some way, Fortnite needs to teach Call of Duty a lesson in the fact that Call of Duty needs to listen, right? We're at the point where, you know, you're bringing out these games and you're basically remastering them without saying they're remastered. And you're giving us Modern Warfare 2 stuff on Modern Warfare 3. This whole game is basically a DLC of the last one, of the original MW2. You're giving us nostalgia back, but trying to modernize it, and it's just clashing. And this is what I'll say. And I know we're not even done with the video yet, but this is kind of my main point of the entire video. Bring back what makes Call of Duty great, right? Don't be so sensitive to trying to create a brand new product, right? You come back next year or the year after or whenever, you know, you can, and reset, right? Just be like, okay, drawing board, big whiteboard on the wall. What makes Call of Duty great? Right? Write all of it down. Right? A ranked play. Actually invest in your league. and make it make sense, because holy cow, it does not make sense, right? Have lots of stuff to start out the year, right? You can have your seasons, have your battle pass, have your whatever, but bring back what makes it great. The pick 10 system. Guns that are real guns almost. Don't just make up guns, right? We don't care about the new, like, fake invented guns. We don't, right? I'd rather use an MP5 and an M4, M16, right? Pick a gun, right? Any gun that you've used in the past in a Call of Duty game and go with it, right? Why have we never had an AK-47 as a main gun for Call of Duty? Right? I can't think. I mean, there's been used sometimes, but as the main gun for majority of the year, like, AK-47 is one of the most, like, legendary ARs ever. And it's funny that I don't think it's ever been used for a Call of Duty game. There's always been something that takes it over. Right? The MP5. Go with that. I mean, yes, it was kind of crazy with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, where that game was, but you do it the right way, you keep it simple, you do all of the right things, you bring back maps that aren't crazy, that don't have a million rooms, that don't have a million stairways, that don't have a million doors, that don't have a million windows, that don't have a million buildings on the map, and you bring back simple. Because I could run through any of the maps, and other than, like, Rust, or I haven't even played all of them yet, but other than the very, very small maps, right? Your Shipment, I know it's not in this game, but your Rust, your simple maps like that. But you run through any of these maps, and there's a ton of rooms, there's a ton of doorways, there's a ton of windows, there's a ton of buildings. The maps are, I'll say, bigger than usual, I feel like, but we don't need that, right? You look at the best maps of all time, or the most loved maps of all time. First kind of few you think of, Slums from Black Ops 2. Not a lot of rooms there, right? There's a couple here and there, but it's pretty much open. You know, you have your barriers, your walls, your head glitches, the fountain to kind of go around. You got the blue room. You got kind of the back, like, junkyard area. You got different areas of the map that you can go around, but it's not all buildings. It's not all running up and down stairwells and going in and out of doors and windows and trying to figure out all these different alleys, right? That map is so simple, right? You look at a map like Raid, right? You have your big circle as your first hard point. You have the laundry room. You have the other room, whatever that's called, that I forget right now. But you have your middle area. You have your middle courtyard. You have your lower pool area. You have the, what do you even call that? The house, right? It's super simple, right? You don't have a million rooms, right? If Modern Warfare and even a lot of these developers removed half of the rooms and buildings on these maps, it may not be that bad, but you gotta add in open space that isn't a no man's land, right? If you get dropped in the middle of a desert and there's nothing to, no buildings or anything, then you're probably not gonna have a good time. But if you actually have a proper map, you have your good rotations, you have good areas around the map. You look at a map like Standoff, pretty simple. I mean, that one has, I would say, probably the most rooms out of the most notorious maps of all time. But still, you're not, like, running through all of one huge building with a million rooms, right? There's a way to play that map where you don't just run through all the buildings, right? You could be out in the open. You could be running around the map. You can be around the map without having to be in a building, right? But I feel like my entire last, I'm trying to think, few Call of Duties, I feel like all I've been doing is running through buildings, right? And I would love to see more open maps. I would love, like, you look at Fringe, arguably one of my favorite maps of all time. You have grandma's house, you have the barn, you have the long train tracks. What's on the other side? You have like the junkyard, you have like the middle building. You don't have a lot of buildings to run through. You run through one little area and then you're open again, right? You're out in the open. But we don't want to run through a million buildings, right? Keep it simple. I'm sure I could probably name a bunch more maps and probably go through them all or run through them in a video, but I'm not going to, right? I could spend all that time and do it, but it's not worth it, right? Call of Duty is just going to keep doing what they're doing. They're just going to keep making all these maps that are probably remakes from old maps and not really caring what Call of Duty fans actually want. And that's the sad part, because I would love to see this game blow up again, right? Call of Duty used to be the #1 game in the world. Then Battle Royale started coming out, then other games started competing with it, and then Call of Duty's just been bam. And now we're just where we are now, where we're just basically making nostalgia games with DLCs for full releases, and it just doesn't make sense, right? Follow what Fortnite's doing. Bring back simple. Bring back what made it good. Bring back the old times where everybody loved what you put out. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below if you haven't yet. Or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss an upload. And don't forget, we can always change your mind later. With all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
In the shadows.